welcome to this episode of Daisy Daisy and the Good, the Bad, and the Odd. With your host, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, so this is a Daisy Daisy based off of Loaded Weapon. Was the last one we did with Samuel L. Jackson, Emilio Estevez, and a host of stars. Shatner, Whoopi Goldberg.
Everyone was in that.
Loads. Bruce Willis. It was nuts. But you elected to pick something spinning off of Emilio Estevez, didn't you? And it was Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
So, a Stephen King film in more respects than most Stephen King films, in fact.
He directed it as well as writing it. So.
It's based off a short story he wrote, and he wrote the screenplay and directed it. It's his only directorial effort as well, and he said, "Nah, I realised I didn't want to do that anymore." But he also has said he has no memory of it whatsoever because he was so coked up.
Yeah, from what I gather, a lot of the advertising for this film was like, well, now Stephen King's going to show all the people that have adapted his work that he's the one that can do it right, and then they made it. And then shortly after this, I think a couple of years after this, The Shining came out. So
no, The Shining came out before.
Before?
Shining was 1980. Yeah. And Stephen King famously never liked the Kubrick version of The Shining. He just doesn't like it at all. He doesn't say much about his other films based on his stuff, but he specifically doesn't like The Shining. So how about that? So there's some interesting.
Other Shining, I was thinking about the miniseries.
Oh yeah, he did. He was involved with that. That was 2003.
Also, like afterwards, Pet Sematary, Shining, not Shining. That he was. Oh, what was it? It was got made.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Yeah. I mean, there are dozens and dozens of Stephen King movies. A lot of them are based on short stories. This one was based on a short story called Trucks, from his first collection of short stories, Night Shift, which is a great collection. And I actually reread it for this, and because I kind of remembered it, but I just wanted to see. Tonally, it's much more serious. It's much more serious. And you can kind of make Trucks more scary in the written word than you can on the screen, maybe. Yeah, I mean, some Trucks are scary. I mean, if you ever watched Duel, the Truck's pretty scary in that.
I mean, in prose, you can over-exaggerate. You can say the things that the film is implying.
Yes,
like engines roaring sort of thing. But,
yeah. So Emilio Estevez and a character actor called Pat Hingle, who's been in loads of things, and
Commissioner Gordon.
He is Commissioner Gordon in the Batman films. Right?
That's what I recognised him. It's like this guy sounds very familiar. I looked it up.
Right, he's been in lots of interesting films from the 50s onwards, really. So there's a lot to choose from him stuff.
He could be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, and interestingly, Yardley Smith, the voice of Lisa Simpson. Now, this was odd because she sounded exactly like Lisa Simpson in this, which suggests that Lisa Simpson's voice is just Yardley Smith talking. There's no emphasis on trying to sound childish. It's just Yardley Smith talking, and it was so weird. That was just added to the weirdness. So there's a couple of other gotchas in this, on the gotchas surprises. First soundtrack by AC/DC, and they never did one until Iron Man, I believe. So this was the first, and there's some good AC/DC songs. Hell's Bells, You Shook Me All Night Long. Those are pretty famous. Now, this isn't a great film, it has to be said.
No, this is probably sitting on the negative side of my scale, but yeah. I'm
kind of tempted to read out some of the negative reviews just so we could get the real negative of other people's thoughts out of the way. But I'll give you basically, it was a tough shoot and the cast didn't enjoy it, but they did like the fact that King was all right, and King would often stop production and put on a Godzilla movie and give them a running commentary of the movie, which is really something.
He sounds like a fun director.
Yeah. And apparently Stephen King wanted Bruce Springsteen to play the role of Bill. But Springsteen wasn't an actor. De Laurentiis. Oh yeah, it should have said De Laurentiis produced this, which is another reason he's nuts, because De Laurentiis does that. And he decided he wanted to hire. Get this is De Laurentiis. I want to hire Martin Sheen's son. Not I want to hire Emilio Estevez. I want to hire Martin Sheen's son because he knows him. Apparently King was a bit peeved about this, but he also tried to foster a sort of positive atmosphere. As I say, he showed films like Godzilla, Night of the Living Dead, and gave running commentaries. And they'd also have golf kart races around the studio lot as well.
It sounds like a fun film to me.
Yeah,
even if it was a bad film overall, but yeah.
Yeah, and also De Laurentiis kept a bit of an eye on the production, believe it or not. For example, the actress that comes in here, played by Laura Harrington, he noticed she's wearing jeans, and he hit the roof. He goes, no, we need it more sexy. She's got to wear, a skirt or shorts or something. Which is why there's a weird scene where she says, I've got to change because that salesman's hands have been all over me. It was horrible. And that's the reason for that scene, because it's like, what the hell's this scene about then?
It's a bit of a weird one because it's like between two car attacks. So.
Yeah, it is weird. And apparently there was also a cinematographer or a cameraman who, the weird lawnmower scene.
Yeah, I've read about this. Yeah.
He asked Stephen King to take the blades out to make it less dangerous, but Stephen King, no, I want them. I want to be able to see it. He goes, but the audience can't see it because it's underneath. And apparently a bit of wood flew off of it and hit him in the eye, and he lost his eye. Which is a bit unfortunate for a cameraman. And he tried to sue De Laurentiis, etc., for $18 million. And they did come to an agreement, so he must have got a reasonable amount. But it's a bit of a shame, really.
Just the price of one contact lens in America.
Yeah, and apparently where they filmed it is a place called Wilmington. Pat Hingle, who we mentioned, liked the place so much he moved to Wilmington afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very near to it. So here's a few of the reviews. Some of them are a bit too highbrow. I don't really want to read those. Actually, some of them aren't bad. As long as King is tinkering with his crazy machines, the film sustains a certain amount of ominous tension. But as soon as he overturns his attention to the actors, the movie's slender storyline goes limp. Another one said it's a mess of a movie. King's direction is heavy-handed in his dialogue.
I like the one about the Tonka truck.
Oh yeah. Watching this film is like sitting alongside a 3-year-old as he skids his Tonka truck across the living room. It says, wee. And this one I think's a bit strong. It's the same guy actually. He says, this proves that King hasn't got an ounce of visual style, the vaguest of idea of how to direct actors, or the sense that God gave a grapefruit. I don't think that's true.
Wow.
There's a bit of flair here and there in this, but mostly not. I think it's by accident, or it's the cameraman or something. Yeah. I don't think King's necessarily responsible for any.
He had a very good team.
Possibly. So. It's a bananas film. It starts with an ATM going wrong, and we see Stephen King, as a character, sort of saying, honey, this machine's calling me an asshole. That's how it starts. And then the music starts. And then this like this cog nonsense about, a meteorite's flying over and we're in the tail of it. So that's
they vaguely try to sci-fi away sentient machines.
Interestingly, they didn't bother in the short story. They just literally start the short story.
I think they shouldn't have in this one.
No.
It shouldn't.
It was nonsense.
Especially because the meteor might not have had anything to do with it, and there was at the end they showed it was aliens. Proper Stephen King it. It was aliens all along.
It was aliens. So. Yeah, it was. Okay, so they had a rationale which wasn't a very good. But trucks coming to life is silly anyway. Now, also we see like a rising. I don't know what the name of it. A bridge that opens, upwards.
Bridge sort of thing.
Yeah. Open by itself and all these cars on it. But because it opens as cars are on it, they just stop. But it keeps going up and up and up, so they start crashing. So we get this mayhem of all these things cars crashing. There's a black truck with AC/DC on the side. I noticed. But there's like lots of watermelon damage. Did you notice there's loads of water?
I think they filmed it originally with a very violent introduction, and they were like, "Ooh, we better scale that back a bit." So
they made it about watermelons.
So they smashed a bunch of watermelons in the opening, and then any gore that you can see in wide shots, it's a watermelon.
It's a watermelon. Yeah, and they're like bashing through car screens. It's a truck full of watermelons. It's proper mayhem, and we even see a truck fall off the edge and into the river. So they destroyed a lot of vehicles just doing this.
This is percentage of film to destruction of vehicles. This is getting near to. And interestingly, not every vehicle seems to be possessed by whatever this is. It's mostly trucks and military vehicles, and video and computer equipment. You know, for example, there's a black dude in a arcade on his own. Oh, it's Giancarlo Esposito. Let's not skip over that.
No, was it? I didn't recognise him.
Giancarlo Esposito.
You are joking.
I'm not.
Was it really? It is as well. Oh man, I didn't recognise him at all. Well, he was kind of made up as like a hip hop kid kind of thing, wasn't he? It was that sort of deal. And he was first. What was it? The cigarette machine starts spitting out cigarettes, and the change machine.
Everything. So all the change and cigarettes going out, and he fills his pockets with that. Then,
and his jumper.
His machine cracks its glass.
I couldn't work it out. He looked at a video game and he was almost like mesmerised by these weird images of triangles and crosses and squares. It was really stupid. And then it kind of blasted out at him, and that was it. That was it. That's the last we saw of him. Right? That's the last we saw of him. In addition, there's a coach with a little league team who goes up to the...
win a game and he's like, I'll treat you all to soda.
Yeah.
And the soda starts firing out and brings him in the head. And
one gets him in the bollocks, right? Doesn't one get him in the bollocks?
Well, he gets nailed in the nuts a few times. And then he drops down on his knees in front of it, and then it nails him in the head. And he's left lying on the floor, sort of twitching for quite a while. And
the kids all run because cokes have been fired at them at high speed. And we then track one kid. A really weird start. He's walking through a town and we kind of see mayhem, but the shots are so ridiculous. And you're like, how did that person die? Like, one looks like they might have been strangled by their own Walkman, and it's not clear.
Some of them, I
was just thinking hanging out of car.
It's just, it made a noise and it blew up their brain. Standard sort of sci-fi sonic attack sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then they just
It gets weirder. There's one where a dead dog's lying in the street with a toy police car in its mouth. So it's like, what happened there? There's people hanging out of cars, hanging out of windows. It's like this woman's hanging out of a window. It looks like her hairdryer's hanging out with her, so maybe the hairdryer strangled her. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense.
It feels like if they remade this movie, they could do a lot of funky effects with like cables going for people, but
yeah.
I mean, they could have done it at the time. Like Evil Dead had similar stuff.
Evil Dead does better directed. That's why, right? And then the kid gets a bike and gets chased by a lawnmower, which ultimately causes that accident we mentioned.
Yeah, and kind of gets stalked by an ice cream truck for a bit.
Yeah, there's a weird ice cream truck just walking around. And for some reason, I was wondering, is that ice cream truck a goodie, kind of? I couldn't work out.
It had blood all over the front.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I was wondering also if the lawnmower was a nod to his story, The Lawnmower Man, or something like that.
Maybe.
Because there are nods to his other films in this. Now, this isn't the only story where King's written about a self, vehicle that comes to life. Christine is a very famous one, and a pretty good film actually, made by John Carpenter, I might add, not Stephen King. So there's some form for that too. But we also see this fantastic truck.
Oh,
it's
God,
the leader. It's got the Green Goblin on the front of it, and it's got happy toys, and there's a slogan on the side, something like, "Now the fun starts," or something like that.
Yeah, it's mental. I assumed that they were gonna like explain it's like because when he like pulls up and gets out of the truck, they're all like, "Oh wow, what the hell is all this?" And I thought it was gonna be, "Oh yeah, the toy company did it. It's like a promotional thing." No, the guy apparently did this himself.
Wow. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And there's also a picture of a clown on the back, which is scary, and considering this is meant to be a kids' toy scene, but B, it's got the same design as Pennywise, pretty much.
Yeah,
The red tufts over its ears, a big red nose, white face. It looks like Pennywise. Now. All right, and we also follow, and I still don't understand why we even follow with these characters, a newlywed couple, which is Yardley Smith and this guy. They get attacked.
The guy was okay. She was so annoying.
She was annoying. But they get attacked by a truck, but the truck kind of crashes and gets stuck. So they manage to get away. But again, the cars don't seem to have this issue. It's trucks. But there is one point they're all driving. They're driving down the road, and there's a load of trucks going the other way. And she's going, "Where do you think they're all going?" And all this. And we never. Who knows?
No, we just don't find out. They all show up later, but there's no real reason for them to have been going anywhere before this. So.
Yeah, we also see this girl who then changes once she gets to the diner.
Yeah.
Getting a lift from this skeevy salesman who's a bit handsy, and she's really fed up with him. And she says something like, "If you touch me again, I'll break your fingers." But something a bit more dramatic sounding. That's a bit cheesy and silly. Yeah. But he looks like, ooh, girls don't talk like that from where I come from. It's all that crap. Anyway, they managed to get to the diner too. The kid we talked about eventually gets to the diner. They all converge on this diner for some reason.
And they all already know each other.
And the married couple.
Oh god.
The trucks are just circling.
Yeah.
So there's a break there. We can make it to the diner. You think, no, turn your car around and drive away from this nightmare. For goodness sakes, but no, they all get, so they're all in. Also, Pat Hingle's the owner of the.
He's this asshole redneck guy.
Yeah, he's a right dickhead.
Go ahead.
So good. Emilio Estevez is the short order cook, right? Doing eggs and stuff, and we get waitresses and stuff. And he's basically saying, "Now I want you to clock in 8 hours and work for 9." He goes, "Why would I do that?" He goes, "Because I got your parole cut. I can talk to your parole officer. You can either do that and go to jail." And like Emilio Estevez, first he says, "No, I'm not doing it," but then
And then he notices that almost all the staff have like the star on their clock sheets. That means that they're on parole.
So he's kind of running the place.
Trying to scam. But he rocks up immediately afterwards with a rocket launcher. So
he's got a rocket. They got rocket launchers, which is very convenient.
And they just sort of frame it as, he's got a lot of guns and down below. It's like, what?
Yeah, the thing is, if he's got a bunker, go down into the bunker, for goodness sake. Makes sense, right?
Also, this isn't his house. He's just got, like, in his workplace, he's got, like, a full armory below his office, I guess.
Yeah, they did use the rocket launchers fairly freely in this as well, didn't they? 3 or 4 times we got rocket launcher stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of get surrounded by trucks.
I was actually thinking.
I don't know what else. Apart from that, they're trying to figure out how to escape, but there's really nowhere to go apart from drainage ditches. Right?
There's a bit where like this weird like military buggy thing pulls up, and it's got a machine gun, and it's the only thing that can actually attack inside the rest. Diner.
Yeah, and it can direct the gun.
Yeah, and it can also sort of communicate with them in Morse code. And it gets them to start filling up trucks.
Yeah, which is from the story.
Which is when the rest of the trucks show up. But I don't know why they were going there before that. So.
Yeah, and basically they have a bit of a discussion, don't they? Like, well, if they'll run out of fuel eventually, but by Morse code they realise they'll destroy the place if they don't fill up the truck, so they have to start pumping the oil, the petrol, whatever, diesel. And then it's all out, but then a petrol truck pulls up and they have to refill the tank. So basically That's kind of where the short story
finished.
Just so you know, the short story kind of finishes there.
Yeah, I kind of figured, because after this, it gets real frantic.
Yeah, they have to have a story, right?
Yeah, it feels like if there was a bit more thought to this would be Act 1, this whole film, pretty much. And then, like, Act 2 would be getting to... Because their whole plan becomes, we got to get to an island with no technology, which is an understandable thing, because everything technology is going nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that's also the approach in a lot of zombie films, right, as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, this film is just Day of the Dead.
With trucks instead of zombies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
there is something to that, yeah.
But yeah, like, they literally get out of the ring of trucks, and then it's almost in montage format. It's so quickly, like, shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally like, man, now we've got out of there, we got to get to the pier so we can get to the boat. Hey, we're at the pier of the boat. And then they get on the boat and leave. And it's literally 5 minutes between them escaping and the film ending. So
yeah, they go through drainage ditch. The trucks are still attacking them, but they get a rocket. They blow up the big goblin truck, don't they? And they also blow up the ice cream van in a final shot. Actually, I think the kid, doesn't he submachine gun the ice cream van, or does he just... I can't remember, but the kid does... Yeah, the kid does the ice cream truck in some sort of symbolic act. Yeah. Okay. And they kind of get away. Now, a few of them die on the way. Doesn't Bubba dies at some point, doesn't he? I think.
Yeah, Bubba gets shot by the weird buggy thing.
Yeah, like, the machine gunny thing.
Yeah, that's kind of it's a pretty good bit of demonstrations. Like, we can kill you, and we can kill, like, the one with the weapons. So.
Yeah, also it's weird that buggy, the metal pole the machine gun's on is like super rubbery. It's kind of, you see it swaying backwards and forwards. Well, that ain't real.
So you say that. Apparently that is an actual vehicle, a mule.
Okay, maybe they're deliberately bending.
It's not like it's not like a motorized turret. It's just like a gun on a pole, but.
Yeah, but the pole seems very, very bendy. Yeah. It felt like, anyway. Maybe that's deliberate to be able to take the recoil without straining stuff. Who knows? Yeah, and that's about it. And then we get a screen cut. Oh, by the way, when it gets to nighttime, the end of the film's nighttime, the sky has got like a weird green effect, isn't it? So it's suggesting something's messing with the atmosphere. And then that's persisted for the rest of the film. And then we see the sky with that green when the final credit. There's like a card comes up telling you.
Yeah, it's got literally. It feels like most of the movies like. Greater story happens completely off screen. Yeah, which is not uncommon for films like Shaun of the Dead as an example, where like pretty much everything happens off screen and the other party does everything. But they do say like, oh yeah, and a Soviet rocket shot down a weather satellite.
Yeah, well, a Soviet
weather satellite shot down a weather balloon.
A weather satellite,
laser cannons.
Yeah, like with laser cannons and atomic missiles, managed to shoot down the comet. And it's kind of a bit cryptic. The survivors of whatever this town was are still survivors, is what the phrase they use. So, okay.
Well, I think they do that. They did that over when Yeardley Smith's character complaining again. So it's just like they're still having to put up with her. So.
Yeah. It was all right. I didn't mind it. I've seen it before. I covered it on my Kingology podcast quite a way back when I covered the Night Shift and set of stories. So it was okay. There is another version of this story called Trucks. I think it's one of King is very generous with filmmakers because if an amateur film maker wants to make one of his stories, he gives them the rights for $1. He calls them dollar babies.
That's it.
He lets them have the rights for $1. And I think the makers of this Trucks film was one of those, and it's a bad film. This is a better film than that, way better. Yeah. It's just a boring drama, and it's a bit silly, you know. Just imagine this with no fun. Imagine this, but you take all the fun out. completely, and the AC/DC and so on. You don't want to watch that, right?
Yeah. That sounds like an awful film.
Yes, it is a pretty bad film. It's like, I think I gave it like 1 out of 5 or something. It wasn't even, and I think I was being generous. It's one of those. Oh man, I think I might go back and watch the video game thing, because I did not recognise Giancarlo Esposito, and I really like him. So I was like, wow, I did not realise. He was wearing a weird hat though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's wearing a hat or like a big wig sort of thing.
Yeah. So okay. Any last final thoughts?
No, not really. That's
all right. Then what would you give it out of 5 or 10?
Oh, I'd give this I'm gonna say it a -7.
-7. That's on a 10 to -10 scale, right?
10 to -10. It's like, I enjoyed it, but it was a bad film.
Yeah, I'm going to rate it out of 5 because I'm kind of used to using Letterboxd. I'm going to say a 2 out of 5 for me. It was okay. Maybe even 2.5 on a good day. I have to say, I thought I'd enjoy it more than I did, and I've seen it before, but it got a bit stodged down in the middle, and it's like, oh man, this needs to move on. I quite like the beginning, quite like the end. The middle was a bit dull, where they were sort of stuck in the diner. And there's also this stupid relationships happening and stuff like that. I have to say a few other things about the movie. It was nominated. I'm trying to find the reference. I definitely found
it nominated for a Razzie. But it lost to the Prince film.
Yeah. King was nominated as worst director. Emilio Estevez was nominated as worst actor, which I don't think's fair. He was fine.
He was doing his usual work, sort of thing.
Yeah, and but they, as you say, both worst director and worst actor got awarded the Prince that year for Under the Cherry Moon, a movie I've never watched. I have to say.
Maybe we should work through like the Razzies top list.
Maybe, but there's some unusual ones. There's some good films in there. I never understand the Razzies sometimes. But I do admire some actors actually go and collect their awards, and they throw.
Oh yeah, have you seen the Halle Berry
No.
collecting award? She went up with her Oscar.
Yeah.
Took it. I was like, thank you to the director of Catwoman for putting me in that complete piece of shit, and it's just carried on going.
And famously, Sandra Bullock won both the Oscar and the Razzie in the same year.
Yeah.
And it may have even been for the same film. I'm not even sure. So there is that. So, okay, that winds up this Daisy. The only other thing I'll say about this film is Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, has talked about maybe writing and directing the Maximum Overdrive remake using new, CGI. I could see someone making a decent film out of this story. It's an intrinsically silly premise, but so's Christine, and Christine's a great film. So, with a decent director, it's possible, and writer, it's possible. I'm not saying King's not a bad writer, but this was a pretty hokey script, it has to be said. All right, then. So the next Daisy would be my choice. So I've got a choice of, Stephen King or Pat Hingle or Yardley Smith. I really want to go for it. I'm not sure there's anyone else famous enough to. But I can always. Stephen King's a massive list, right?
Yeah.
Stephen King's massive.
Stephen King as an actor. So,
there's Creepshow, and it's been an actor in a few of his adaptations. Usually not long enough to do any damage, so that's cool. And it's not bad as a comedy actor, actually. He does quite good in Creepshow. So, all right, but I'll have a think about it. We've got 4 episodes to worry about that. All right, then. Okay, let's wind up there. So, bye from me.
Bye.